So last month, I made just shy of $200,000, and I am talking to you from my Miami penthouse, which is a real penthouse, not a fake penthouse with a 2-bedroom that you call a penthouse. And I already know what you're thinking. Your finger is probably hovering over the back button right now as you're considering watching the rest of this video, because you're like, oh, this is just another guru grifter who's gonna give me surface level information and then leave me more confused than I came here. And I'm not gonna actually learn anything valuable whatsoever, so I might as well get out of here while I still have the chance. And if that's what you're thinking right now, I totally understand, because you probably see a lot of people on the internet who are promising you the world and under-delivering, and all they're really trying to do is get you to watch the videos so you end up going to their sales funnel and buying their course. Now, the reason that I know this so well is because I've been capitalizing on those people for the last 2.5 years. I've made almost $3 million by partnering up with people that sell coaching and info products online, and in this video, I'm just gonna give you a very candid breakdown of how my business operates. I basically have 2 legs of the business now, both my own education and my agency services. So without further ado, let me share my screen here and I'll show you how it works. First, this is my marketing agency called 94 Marketing that I've been running for the past 2.5 years. And this is my coaching program called Artisan Lab. They basically work together, which I will explain later in the video. But first, let me show you some real proof here. So this is when I first started this business in September of 2022. And as you can see here, over the following 15 months, I processed $1.1 million here on Stripe. And I also took a lot of our biggest payments outside of Stripe, because when you have a wire for $40,000 or $50,000, you don't want to give away 3% right there to the processor. But just so you have some cold hard proof right here, as you can see, this is not a screenshot, it's a live dashboard. And now that that's out of the way, let me go back over here and just give you the breakdown that you came here for. So first, the way that my agency works is I partner up with people that you see on screen here. So these are all either current or former clients of mine who I've worked with, and all of them have one thing in common. They sell information and coaching online. And basically their job is to post content on social media and get as much attention as we possibly can. As you can see, many of them have hundreds of thousands of followers. And odds are you kind of have an understanding of how this works. The reason that they're posting content is because they have a coaching program or a course or some kind of informational product that they are trying to sell to the audience. That's exactly where I come in. So they post content and garner attention on social media, and I build the infrastructure to turn all of the leads that they're getting into actual customers. I'll go deeper into how this exactly works later in this video, but just to show you a bit more proof from last month here was one of my clients who did 104K on the back half of the month. This is after we switched to a different processor, and including the other processor, that client made about $200,000 last month. Here's another client who is also split between 2 processors who made 32K on one and 46K on the other. And then this one here made 109K. And the reason I'm showing you this is because the way that this side of my business works is I have a rev share on all of the money that I help my clients make. So for example, this client made 109K. I have a 30% rev share there. So that singular client will pay me over $30,000. And just to show you some proof of that, this is a client that I've been working with for about the past year. They've paid me between $8,500 to $30K every single month for exactly 1 year at the time that I took this screenshot. And then this is another client who paid me $12,820 last month. So most of my clients and all the people that you see online in general who are posting content like this and trying to get attention so they can sell a course or a coaching program, their model works in a very similar way to this. It first starts with what's called an offer in the info product world. People pay them money in exchange for information. What they really want there is a transformation. They're paying for access to the course and the community and the potential result of, hey, if I invest 5K, will you teach me how to build an Airbnb business or get better at basketball or any of the other skills or side hustles that people will pay money to learn. Basically, as a coach or as an info guru, your job is to solve problems. And the way that you solve problems is you're doing so through information and accountability plus access and maybe some hands-on coaching. So people pay in exchange for that. And when you have an info business, the most important thing that you need to do, and that all of my clients had to do, is get this here, which is traffic. They need traffic because, as you probably know, attention is the most valuable currency. Right now, you are paying attention to this video, and that's valuable to me because you might end up buying something from me. So when you're somebody who is selling coaching and information, the more people that they can get to watch their videos, the more money they're gonna make. So that's kind of info product one-on-one there, but next I wanna show you what people are actually buying. When you buy a $5,000 or $10,000 course, what do you typically get access to? Is it really just a scam? And if so, how is it still around? How are people still falling for it? Let me show you an example. So like I said, I have two businesses. I first have my agency where I partner with people that sell coaching and information online. After doing this for 2 years and making 6 figures a month doing it, I started to get a lot of people online who were asking me for help. They'd be like, Ben, can you teach me how to partner with people that sell coaching and information? So after a while, I was like, you know what? Why don't I launch my own education product as well? And that's exactly what I did with my info business, Artisan Lab. So inside Artisan Lab, here I have the main chat. This is like the main community where questions are asked and people are talking. It's like the main forum, and I'm in there pretty much all day, every day, just answering questions and talking to people. Next, I have a wins channel. I have an accountability channel. I have copy reviews for people to submit their copy and get feedback. And then down here, I have all of the course content. So I can just briefly show you one of the courses, but here I have a total of 24 hours of content, and it's basically everything that you can need to know about running an info product business. And as you can see, this is one of many courses inside. I also have 4 group coaching calls a week inside the community and offer some one-on-one support as well. So I'm not showing you this to pitch you whatsoever, but just so you can kind of get a better understanding of what people are actually buying when they buy the course and they become the method. This is typically pretty similar to what they're getting. All of the clients I've worked with have a pretty similar setup to this. It's course content plus group coaching plus some one-on-one and a community. So if I go back over to this board here, now that you understand what people are actually selling when they're selling a high ticket info product, now you can start to see how they sell it. So right now, very good example. The reason I am making this video is because I want to build trust. I want to show credibility. I want to build a relationship with the audience so that you start to understand, okay, I like Ben. I understand what Ben does and how Ben's made his money, and he showed me proof. He showed me receipts. Maybe I will consider building my own agency and working with people that sell info products and coaching online, because it does seem like a viable option. And so this is typically where the part where I come into play with my clients. Once somebody becomes interested and they're a lead, what happens after they watch the content? Well, if we continue to use me as an example here, if you go to the description of this video, you'll see a link to join Artisan Lab. And when you click on the link and go to this page, you'll see something that looks like this. This is basically a 10-minute explainer video where I'm selling people on me, I'm selling people on the program, and just explaining what you get inside and who it's for, who it's not for, and what you'll get when you join. And then under here, I have an application. People fill out that application, they book a call in our sales team's calendar, and then they either end up joining the program or they tell us to fuck off and we never hear from them again. And as you can see here on the rest of this page, I just have a bunch of social proof from people that are happy customers and just showing you that this actually works. And this would be considered the conversion mechanism. So if I were your client, you would be building all of this out for me. You would write the copy on this page, you would script the video, you would structure this form here and all of the qualifying questions, and then put all of the social proof on here. And then even after that, after somebody does apply and they get on a call with the sales team, like you would be the person who's building the infrastructure, hiring the sales team, doing all of this stuff on the back end to help me in this instance, if hypothetically I'm your client, convert the people that watch my content into paying customers. And moving on here, that's not the only conversion mechanism possible. So this is a recent webinar that I ran, and this was actually kind of my bread and butter for my clients. The idea is you host an hour-long training, and at the end you say, okay, by the way, I have this paid thing now that I gave you all this information for free. If you want my help in implementing it, here's my offer for you. So for my clients over the past few years, I'd build a funnel pretty similar to this, and then I'd have email and SMS reminders to help remind people to actually show up to the webinar. And then on the webinar, my team would build all of the slides that our clients reading off of, and we'd make a lot of money together once we pitch the offer. And in exchange, that's why they're willing to pay me 20 to 30 to even 50% in some instances. So this business model is relatively simple. I wouldn't say it's the easiest business in the world, but it's paid me well, and basically all I'm doing is just capitalizing on the leverage that other people had. And 3 years ago when I started this, it was the perfect model for me because I was just transitioning out of my SMMA. I ran like a marketing agency for local businesses before, so I had a skill set, but I just needed like a better vehicle to direct that skill set, which is when I found this model. And I didn't have a personal brand. I couldn't sell my own coaching program because I didn't really have anything to sell a coaching program on, but I realized that all of the people who I saw online who were making the most money were doing exactly that. Alex Hormozi just made $100 million in a weekend by selling coaching and information. Eman Gadji does the same thing. Absolutely Prince selling info, and I'm not hating on these people, but just look at how they're actually making their money. They're all selling info. Odds are right now, if you're earlier in your journey, you probably don't have anything to sell info on, but that doesn't mean you have to sit on the sidelines. You can do what I've been doing and partner up with people like I showed you in this video, get a rev share and then help them scale, and you're basically making course seller money without selling your own course. Anyway, here's the pitch real quick because I know you've probably been waiting for it. If you want to get direct coaching from me, I do have a link in the description. I kind of just showed you my entire sales process, so you probably understand it by now. But yeah, you can go work with me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, chat with your grandma. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.